Hi friends, I'm so happy to be back making another video. I know that it has been a little while, and that has been because I was on holidays. Throughout July, I spent a week with my mum here in Paris. I explored the southwest of England and rediscovered my heritage in the southernmost region of Portugal, the Algarve, where my grandfather grew up. Food, family, breathtaking vistas, and a break from city life were just what the doctor ordered. Part 1. Paris. It is currently 6:25 and we're about to go out the door to Charles de Gaulle Airport and pick up my mum.
Platform 21, this is the last stop of this train. Please make sure that you have all of your luggage with you before leaving.
Is that kind of surreal to be like, you watch the video and then now you see it?
Very. Look at that beautiful church over there.
Yeah.
No cranes, no harnesses.
Yeah.
How did they get the spire, I guess, on the top?
Beats me. I don't know.
I wouldn't want to be that person.
No. Jerry, don't mess it up, Jerry.
We'll just like share if you want, or lazy or two.
I actually didn't think I was going to see my mum before I went back to Australia. To be able to spend a week with her in Paris was just incredible because we got that week, just the two of us essentially in Paris. We took some of that time that we had that we didn't necessarily have on the rest of the trip to sit down and have an interview. So please enjoy. My mum, her name is Maggie. Mum, did you want to introduce yourself a little bit without revealing too many personal details, I guess?
My more recent background is working in aged care and disability, and I've just always loved being a mum.
I mean, it's safe to call you an artist. I think at this point you...
I am trying to embrace that title, if you like.
I grew up with you having an interest in different cultures, languages, and you've always really liked France. So how do you feel about that? Where does that curiosity come from? How do you feel about the French language?
I did French at school in year 7, as we call it in Australia, and I didn't really want to do it. And I was never really at peace with it.
Was that because you found it hard? You were daunted by the challenge of learning a new language?
Absolutely. Large classroom, distractions, our teacher was beautiful, but there were 40 of us in the class, I think. I didn't continue with it, but there's just always been something there.
Did you ever think you would have a bilingual child?
I think every mother hopes that at some stage their child will pick up an instrument and become the next Yo-Yo Ma or something like that. And that translates to languages and many other things, art included. And you have certainly embraced language, and that makes me very happy.
Would you have ever liked to have moved overseas?
I did know people who did go overseas and who did live overseas even. It seemed to be just the people who were able to embrace that because they were unusual or something like that. Normal everyday people, to my mind, didn't really do things like that. Or you went on a Kentucky tour.
Can you comment about the ways we've kept connected? Because I think that's maybe something people are interested to hear about.
Well, I know that you have touched on the snail mail, yes. The letter writing, and even though that has slowed down over the last few months, last 2 or 3 months, but of course I've known in the last month that I was coming over. Unfortunately, money does come into this. I would send things every other day if it wasn't so expensive. There's that element, and I can't just get on the bus and go up the road to visit you element. That it can be hard to adjust to. But I just know that I want the people that I care for to be doing the things that they want to be doing. In my own life, I'm not that far away from my other daughter, from my lovely Hannah, but between her busy life and my busy life too, to some extent, even there, an hour and a half away from each other, we all have to make such a concentrated effort to see each other now. And we do have phone calls, and we've got family messages, on Messenger and WhatsApp and things like that. They do make the whole experience a little more bearable, yes. Even though it can be difficult at times.
I hope you guys enjoyed that interview and got something out of it. I know I definitely did, and my mom did too. I wasn't sure if I was going to have the chance to include any family members in my video, so I was really happy that we did get this chance. Part 2, England. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, which is the subject of how on earth you find where it is that you can become comfortable and happy and find home on this floating blue marble in our galaxy of the Milky Way. Ever since I can really remember, I haven't really ever been dead set on one place in particular being my ideal destination to live. I've never really felt 100% settled in Australia, and now that I'm living in France, I have this conversation with myself semi-regularly about whether France is the place where I want to stay, or whether there's somewhere else out there for me where I would be 100% settled and happy. Of course, as we know, you could probably never be 100% settled and happy somewhere. I'm sure there are people who are, but I'm yet to meet someone like that. I think a lot of people get it in their heads that, they'll be happy when they have X property or X job or all those kinds of things, and I try not to put those parameters on the life I'm living, being that I will be happy when I have XYZ. I try and be open-minded to just being happy in the moment, but sometimes that is not the easiest thing. Also, I should introduce Timmy. I caved and bought a jelly cat here on holidays in the UK. So meet my new jelly cat. He's very grumpy, but I love him. So he's gonna sit with me during the video. Both my grandfathers on my mum's side, my dad's side, both of them went over to Australia. I'm not in Australia right now, so it feels weird to say came, but they went to Australia when they were very, very young. And that was massive for them. But we take our parents and our grandparents' migration for granted. And I understand, not all the nuance of why they left, but I understand why they left. And the luxuries, the opportunities, the overall quality of life that has given me, because both of them chose to go to Australia and both of them did pretty well for themselves and enabled our family to have a good life there. I would be remiss to neglect to mention the fact that Australia is a settler colonial project. There are many people that I have done activism work over there that are working really, really hard to make Australia a fairer society for Indigenous Australians, for non-Indigenous Australians, for immigrants, people of colour, refugees, for the working class there, and that brings me hope. That does not, I guess, cover the nuance of it though, and there is this definite unease that comes with understanding that the life that my family sought out there in Australia comes off the back of it fundamentally being about the disenfranchisement of the first Australians, and that has never sat right with me. Let me just say, it always was and it always will be Aboriginal land. And to get back to our fundamental question of how on earth you find where you belong in this world, it is really hard, because everywhere will have its pros, everywhere will have its cons. There will always be things that you will not like in a society, in a country, about learning a language. And for me, with each passing day that I live in France, I'm on holidays right now, so this time excluded, I learn to live with the bad and to appreciate the good more and more. Of course, one of the many issues that people come up against when they move overseas is the fact that they're not close to their family, they're not close to their old friends. And of course, if you're family orientated, then moving overseas might not be for you, or it will probably be one of the most challenging things that you will come across when you make that change in your life. I can feel my rant coming to an end. I am glad for this holiday because it has given me a change of locale. It has scratched that itch. It's given me a little bit of thinking, dreaming about life in England, and I actually have found more resolve to go back to France after my holidays and really make an effort to keep going on that particular journey. Part 3. Portugal. So in Portugal, we were staying in the Algarve, which is the very south of Portugal, and it is a truly magical place. I felt really lucky because this is the first trip that I had been on since I was a baby, and it was also, of course, the only time I have been able to experience it with my grandfather who grew up there. I am obviously a very Anglo-Australian. I did not grow up speaking Portuguese, even though I understand a bit of it, and to have that experience to reconnect with Portugal was really important to me. In particular, it was really lovely because we got a chance to go and visit our family farm, which has a really old windmill from the 1700s still standing on it, though the paint is, diminished and it's kind of a bit rough around the edges now, but it was still great to go and see this site that has so much significance for our family.
The carrots, right. These are still a little bit too, not too dry, so it's not good to eat yet, but in the carrots themselves, together, the whole thing, now runs about 6 to 7, maybe 10 euros for every 15 kilos. We sell it by the arroba, 15 kilos. But if you get the seed only, and that's apparently the...
Can I video?
Yeah. This is the seed. Okay. This seed is about 1,000 euros a kilo.
Wow.
Mariolos.
Oh, isto é Mariolos?
Yeah.
My grandfather is from Lolé, which is a city and municipality in the Algarve region of Portugal. It was lovely spending time walking around and getting to know where he grew up. He even worked on this monument that you can see here in dedication to the politician Duarte Pacheco from Lolé, who was unfortunately a politician under the Estado Novo regime. This regime was ousted during the Carnation Revolution in 1974, which passed its 50th anniversary this past April. We spent time in the towns above Lolé too. We watched people in medieval costumes dance through the streets during the Celia Medieval Festival and enjoyed the scenic panorama as the sun set. The Algarve is home to the southwesternmost point of Europe, and this is where you'll find the old navigation school. Beyond the fortifications, you can take a lovely but very windy walk across the headland and look out to sea. Nick and I also had the opportunity to go on a dolphin sighting tour along the Algarve coastline. We had the immense luck to see 2 different types of dolphins. It was also incredible to see the coastal formations, including the very famous Benagil Cave. I also loved the food. Nick and I tried to go and eat as much vegan food as possible, and surprisingly, I guess because of all of the English and German and Scandinavian tourists that go down to the Algarve, there was actually quite a bit of vegan food around there. Overall, I had an incredible time with my family. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe because it really does help. You can also find me across Blue Sky, Instagram, and Threads. Bye for now, guys, and I'll catch you in my next video.